Yes. I thought this might be
Finally.
someone else. I thought this might be someone else. there's,
Oh
there's
man.
so many people request see what's going on.
Yeah. This Instagram thing is not a piece of cake for anyone, man. It's just so difficult to uh, get used to that.
You should have seen Kane Williamson the other day. It was 25 minutes. He never Instagram live.
Yeah. I can imagine.
I think Rohit and Nadal the other day were like an hour trying to work out how they could talk to each other on this.
Yeah.
It's awesome. What's been happening?
Yeah, not much. We just we're under a immense strict lockdown.
Yeah.
So we just home for the past 40-45 days now.
Yeah.
Sitting home doing not much actually. Just doing live chats with people who I know the best.
Mate, it's been exactly the same here. It's been very challenging. Not it's bizarre. Like you can't play like cricket. Like if you get dropped, okay, you understand. But like to be told by the government you can't leave your house, you have to stay indoors. You got to, work out how to survive.
Yeah.
It's totally bizarre, but everyone's in the same situation. It's crazy.
But at least I read in the news today, Australia is easing the lockdown a little bit, where you can go to restaurants, cafes, and you can still go outdoors. Here we can't even go outdoors except buying groceries, which to me is a bit strange right now.
That's
because
crazy.
I have no idea what to buy. No idea.
I was just reading, and I apologise to all the Indian fans there, but alcohol has got a surcharge now, big time in India, and they're getting delivered to people's houses.
Yeah, you
It's
saw
crazy.
what happened the first day when they opened the liquor shops. It went crazy, man. People were queuing up. There was about 2 kilometers, big queue, people waiting for people to buy alcohol, and they shut it in one day's time because it's crazy because so many people are out on the roads, and there are chances people might get infected because of that.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I know people who haven't travelled to India wouldn't understand that some places are a dry state, and you actually have to apply a certificate to actually drink alcohol.
Yeah, absolutely, man. How's the family?
Family good. How's Ritika and Ara?
Yeah, they're good, man. They're chilling. They're home. They're happy to have me home. So that's good. I got to spend my birthday, which was a couple of weeks back, with them at home.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, never been around on my birthday as well with them. So finally got to stay home with them, spend some time with them, which was good.
And I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand, that when you have, if you have family or not, you actually miss a lot of different things that, whether it's weddings or birthdays or even Mother's Day. This is my first time home for Mother's Day in a long time.
Yeah.
They're little things that we miss.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Being with the family is so important. Sometimes it's hard to explain when we are out there playing that family is so important for us because when we grow up in India, it's actually like that. When we grow up, we say cricket is life.
Yeah.
There's so much beyond that. Your cricket finishes when you're 38, 39. I don't know when you finish, but I'll certainly finish before that. But so there's actually much more than that. When you get married, when you have family, you realize the importance of that a lot more. When you are
definitely.
When you're single, when you're just playing, you don't think about that much. But now being with them, spending so much time with them, I realize how important it is. And they need us more than anything else. They need our support. They need us to be around to make sure that they are comforted as well. I'm sure it's the same with you. Yeah, you've got 3 beautiful daughters, and you've got a beautiful wife, and I'm pretty sure it's so hard for Candice to be without you and managing 3 kids. I know we have only one right now, and I know how difficult it is for Ritika when I'm not around. So I can't even imagine how it is like for Candice.
Yeah, look, it obviously has its challenges, but I think the best thing for us is I look at the Ashes for myself coming home. I always had a smile on my face because you got your family there. It was good.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
blessing. It's a
yeah,
blessing.
yeah,
But but as we say this time at the moment, we'll be playing over there. We're playing IPL.
yeah,
I do have a couple of questions for you though. I go back to I think it was 2014. I want to like I want you to explain to me as a captain of a franchise.
yeah.
You lose five in a row. How do you motivate the guys to come back from five in a row and then you turn around and win seven out of the next nine and then you win the whole thing?
That was pretty tough. I remember we were going through really tough times. We were facing a lot of pressure from the spectators. You know how people in India, especially in Mumbai, they're quite passionate about cricket over here. And then the franchisee as well. Our franchisee owners, they're quite passionate as well about the game. So there was a lot of pressure. I still remember we were in Dubai for the first 5 games, and then we had head back to India. The 5 games in Dubai, we lost all the
Yep.
games, and then luckily for me, I had Ponting around the team. I'm sure no better person than you to explain that or to understand that because you know what impactful person he is when he's around the group.
Yeah, definitely.
I was watching your the series on Amazon, the test,
Yep.
and he was around with you guys during the World Cup, and I could think back and start imagining how he was. He was pretty much the same. Motivating the youngsters around the guys, just feeling one of us, not the coaching staff. So he was doing the same things, and more than
Yep.
one good thing that stuck out was about Bonding was he was only going to go and talk to the younger guys. He was not worried so much about the senior players in the squad. He was trying to make sure that all the youngsters in the squad are very well, staying in that mental zone and not worrying about anything else. They
Yep.
were his idea was to make sure that the youngsters don't drift away so much.
Yep.
I'm sure the senior guys will take care of itself, but it's the younger guys who I need to look after, and that's what he exactly did. And from once we returned to Mumbai, things changed. I remember he gave us that pep talk in Mumbai once we came to Mumbai, and everything changed around that. You know,
Yeah, that's good. I think you hit the nail on the head. He's a very passionate guy, and he'll always leave it upon the senior players to understand what they do because you can't change guys who have been playing for 5 to 10 years international cricket. He's played it, he's lived it, and now
yeah,
he's coaching it. It's about the younger guys coming along with the experienced players to say, hey, there's always hope and belief, and that's one thing he. I think the same as with having Sachin around or whether it's I think Viru with me at Delhi,
yeah,
having these guys around, it's a bit of an energy boost for younger guys, and the same with you coming into an Indian cricket team with all
yeah,
those superstars, and I came in at the same time. I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm actually playing with these guys now. How do we act around these guys? What's right? What's wrong? But you're trying to establish yourself as a cricketer, and you're good enough to be there.
yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of these guys have made a great impact. On the team, whichever team they've been part of, and especially IPL. What IPL has done to all the cricketers is getting to know all these guys from various parts of the world, getting to know their culture, getting to understand what they do as a player. And for us, it's been fascinating to know all you guys. When you're playing for your country, it's a totally different ball game. But when you come here, a lot of the guys here get to learn so much from each other. Because
Yeah,
they watch you guys and they see you prepare yourself before the game, what you like to do, what you don't like to do, how much time you spend in the gym and things like that. So it's IPL in a way has done wonders to world cricket, not just Indian cricket, but also to many other guys, many other cricketers in the world.
one thing I did notice when I came to the IPL my first time, how much cricket balls you Indian cricketers hit like so many balls, and like I know here
Yeah.
we'll probably get a good half an hour to an hour of throwdowns, but the resources you have with guys available to net bowl to you, I could
Yeah.
spend 6 hours there.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel the tournament itself is very. So I'm sure all the franchises they start preparing well before the tournament starts, and that includes all these things, managing net bowlers, managing the practice facilities, getting your players to come, to the city a lot earlier than the tournament starts. So those things, I think, I don't know about Sunrisers, but Mumbai has done that pretty well in the last few years. They've gotten their players quite early, and there's a little 10 days camp that we try and held before the tournament starts. So just for the newer guys to get used to the staff, the players as well. So it's very important. Uh, I when IPL started, I played for that city, Hyderabad, but it's a different name now. But the city is the same. I remember how passionate people are in Hyderabad as well.
Yep.
I remember we were playing the finals last year, CSK and Mumbai, and
Yep.
they were going berserk shouting Sunrisers, the Orange Army, which was, people there are quite supportive and they get behind their team, which was amazing to see. It's something that doesn't happen every time, but it was great to see, and there were orange jerseys in the stadiums, which was good. It's quite a passionate city to be part of.
I think the reasoning behind that as well is because someone called Rohit Sharma took a hat trick and scored 100 for Deccan against Mumbai.
Yeah. I can't believe that, man. I seriously cannot believe I took a hat trick against Mumbai when I was playing for Hyderabad. Just, I don't even remember how I used to bowl them. It's just unfortunate I got a finger injury and then I cannot grip the ball properly. So I stopped it. And these days, it's better to stay away from bowling.
Well, it still remains you're the only Indian, and I think Shane Watson's the only international player to do that.
Oh,
I couldn't remember last time you ever bowled.
And they're decent batters as well. I remember the first one was JP Dumini. Second one
LBW or court?
It was caught behind, leg side. Gilly was wicket keeping. He took a great catch. And then the second one was Abhishek Nair. Third one was Harbhajan Singh. I'm pretty sure that he underestimated me. He just wanted to come and swing the bat. But he missed it. But clean ball.
Was that when you guys won in South Africa?
Yeah, 2009. Yeah.
I remember.
I used to bowl a lot back then. I wanted to ask you the same thing. If you remember, we played under 19 together when you guys toured India. I think Usman was captain. Usman or Moses Henrik. I don't remember. Either one was leading the side. Yeah. And you were a middle order batsman. You used to bat at 6 or 7, if I'm not wrong. You used to bowl a handy leg spinner. And a gun fielder. That I know. I still remember that. How did that transition happen for you? When you started opening the batting, now dominating all 3 formats.
That's where someone asked me the other day, where's my favourite place to play in India? And I say the most picturesque place is Dharamshala.
Yeah.
And I remember vividly playing there.
Yeah.
And I was bowling leg spin, and I remember Warney not having a great record there. And like as a leg spinner, I think you got to bowl faster. Like you look at Mishra. I remember Rahul Sharma. Obviously Rashid. But like I don't know. It was bizarre. I started at middle order. I was sort of like coming in at the middle, sort of back end of innings. And then like in 2009, Dominic Thornley, who played a handful of games for Australia, he was captain in New South Wales.
Yeah.
And Philip Hughes was opening the batting at the time. and we were chasing a small total against Tasmania, and then I go in the change room. I just go to take off my clothes, get ready, and then obviously go and watch the boys chase. And he said, "You're opening." And I was like, "Okay." And then I was told the next game I'm opening the batting in the T20 game against Sean Tate, and I was just like, "No thanks." Like, you don't know what to think. So like, I just automatically said, "Okay, yes, well I have to. I've got no choice." I end up scoring some runs the next game, and then it flowed on from there. And then like my bowling just didn't really progress. I didn't really put more energy or emphasis into my game. I then all of a sudden turned into an opening batter, and then all of a sudden I'm walking out at the MCG in front of 90,000 people against South Africa.
Yeah, I saw that game. I saw that.
And then literally I'm there like, you're pinching yourself going, what's going on here? Like it was so bizarre how it all unfolded from, I think it was 2006. I think we played you guys. In India. And
I think it was 2006 or 5.
Yeah, it was one of them, and like it was crazy. Like I was like, man, the ball's spinning so much. How can you ever play here? Like, and then I'm thinking nowadays, I'm thinking, all right, if I go back to India, I want to bat in the middle because it spins conventionally. Open the batting with a new ball, man.
Batting, which one is coming in?
It's crazy. Like so second innings I find like so tough because obviously Ash has got good control where he goes over the ball, but as a batsman, people don't realise you can't see that far down the wicket where he's actually, if he's going like this or if he's going like that. It's very difficult. And with the new ball and it's skidding on, that's why I bet you would have hated facing Harenga Harath.
Yeah, I mean, that's what all these coaches, when they come and say, please watch his hand, please watch his hand. It's not so easy to watch his hand. It literally happens in 1 second. He releases, the bowler releases the ball literally within a second, and it's very hard to judge. And these days the bowlers are very smart. They don't try and release the ball through the seam, like except the test matches where all the conventional spinners they bowl with the seam. But in limited overs, they don't. And in India, the problem is even the spinners, when the ball gets so roughed up, you don't see the seam so clearly. It's hard in the nets when we bat. We often try and practice that, to try and see the fingers of the off spinner, the wrist of the leg spinner. But it's so tough. It's tough. It's not easy. Yes, in the textbook, it says that you have to always watch the bowler's hand, but it's not so easy, man. Especially guys like Rashid Khan and all. I mean, it's so fast. It's actually so quick. You can't even watch what he's trying to do.
You've almost got to like. It's hard to describe to people. Like if you're playing 2020 cricket white ball, you think, okay, it's probably going to slide on in the first 6. But with a finger spinner who can actually turn it both ways, you can only play on line. So like, if you're surviving, you're trying to get off struck. If you're not, and you're, I don't know, I remember, I think it was Livingston started slow sweeping Rashid in Jaipur, and he got a hold of him. And normally I wouldn't bowl Rash in the first 6, but we had to because we're under the pump. So you go to, one of your best bowlers. So what do you try and get a wicket, but people don't realise if you put pressure on bowlers, especially in the first 6, you can get the upper hand, but after that, it's difficult. Once the ball gets older and it turns, where it does turn the majority of places, except if you're batting second in Mumbai, it can be it's challenging.
Yeah, with once the ball gets
that's one. Like, what's your mindset there? Like, every single team batting second, you go to Mumbai, 8:00 game. You win the toss, you bowl first. Yeah. So what do you think as like? We've lost the toss. We're obviously we're going to be bowling second now. We have to bat well. 200 obviously the total that you need to get. How do you what goes through your mind when you're applying your sort of your trade when you're out there?
I mean, the first thing, especially at Mumbai, everyone's watching me at the toss. So when I'm tossing peripheral vision that, okay, there are guys all over me. They're watching me, what is happening with the toss. Because the toss is so crucial. And, when I lose the toss, they seriously they feel that he's the worst guy in the world. They don't look at me, they don't talk to me for a second when I come back. But then, yeah, that's when my job comes in. I get everyone together and just, like, we, our preparation actually becomes starts much before that toss, before the training session and things like that. I know it's important for the boys to know that toss is under no one's control. We can't control the toss. We have to play good cricket. And if you look at Mumbai's record, we have won a lot of games batting first.
Yeah.
At Wankhede, and that's mainly because of the plans, the strategy that we put in place before the games, and all the credit has to go to the coaching staff from whether it was Ponting, Bond, and all these guys. They put in a lot of effort. Now Mahela is working with us, so these guys have put in a lot of effort to make sure that we get our plans right. Once we have the plans in place, and in spite of that, we lose a game, it's fine. I mean, it happened to us when Chennai beat us last year, I think it was. Last year, or year before last, sorry. We got 160 and they were 50 for 5 or something, and Wayne Bravo came in and just started hitting, and he got the game away very easily. And we had guys like Bumrah and Mitch McClanagan bowling towards the end. So you couldn't expect like Bumrah will give so many runs towards the end, because he's done that pretty well. He's handled that situation pretty well in the end. But that was his off day, and Bravo got him that day.
Yeah.
It's just one of those days. And so that's what I mean. What I'm trying to say here is that plans have been put in place, but there are days where everything will not go according to the plan. So you don't get frustrated. You just get everything together, then come back the next day and try focusing on that. Because at Wankhede, it's very easy to get drifted away, because sometimes you will think, okay, we did everything right, but still we ended up on losing the game.
That's where, like, one place Boovie says he always likes bowling because the ball swings and nips around the first sort of 4 overs.
Yeah.
And it's always challenging.
Bowlers are in the game at Wankhede for sure. The first few overs, if you pitch it in the right areas, then there are chances you might, knock the batsman early. And then after the 6 overs as well, spinners come into game when the ball is still dry, because you get good bounce. Sometimes it does turn there with the new ball as well. So, it's even contest at Wankhede, I feel, but on days where it's like absolutely belter and flat, there's not much to do for the bowlers except to just stay quiet in one place and keep bowling what you do.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a bit like Hyderabad as well sometimes. Like when you get on it's actually bizarre because I think maybe the same as Wankhede, but we know at Hyderabad if you use one side of the square, it's going to be absolute belter, and then the other side of the square it might be 150, 160, and you have to work out how do you plan accordingly? Because usually we're giving away our tips here, but like on one wicket you go, all right, well it's better to bat first.
Yeah.
And on the other side it's better to chase. Because a lot of grounds are quite similar. Like I look at Kolkata, that's now one of the best batting wickets as well because it's not like a big turner like it used to be.
Yeah.
We're not Hardik or we're not Andre. We can't do that. Sometimes it's impossible. I think was that Budgie on there? Say something in Hindi.
Yeah, there's something.
Me?
Thought of you.
I thought it was like means up kiss hai.
That's good enough, man.
It's all the basics. I don't know too much in Hindi.
You're doing quite well on TikTok.
Man, TikTok. That is my
really
daughter.
Killing TikTok.
I'm gonna do one tomorrow. Me and my wife are gonna try another dance. Butta Bomma was one that we got told to do.
Yeah.
I said I'll make a promise to the all the Indian fans. I'll try and do one a week. But man, some of these Tollywood and Bollywood dances, they're so hard to learn.
What was
Look at our commercials.
there was this Tollywood Telugu movie song you did, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Butta Bomma.
Yeah, I mean, even I don't know about that. Did you?
Come on, man. You have to research these things.
I'm hardly keeping up with Bollywood right now. I don't know if I'll keep up with Tollywood.
Yeah,
but,
well, there's so many different things out there. Like I didn't know what TikTok was. Like my daughter downloaded something like they were playing games and something just came up and I was like, what is this stuff? And she's like, it's TikTok.
Yeah,
so I scrolled through. I remember last year one of the cricketers was like, you got to watch this stuff. It's funny.
Yeah.
So I went on it. I looked at it. I said, all right, let's just put some smiles on people's faces. Take the Mickey out of myself, which is quite easy to do. But yeah, like it's a little bit of fun. And look, I don't know how long it will last, but hopefully once this pandemic's over, you know, I think the ICC World Cup maybe that's in sort of you know, it's probably not going to go ahead. I think by the looks of what's happening here, I think getting everyone into one spot's going to be difficult. But actually, that's what I was saying. I was reading today. It'll be to me. A lot of people talk to me about like what's our rivalry like, and I was like, you know, it's when you walk on the field, it's completely different. When I walk on the field for Sunrisers, when you walk on the field for Mumbai, so it's combat mode. You know, you're competitive.
Yeah.
It's passion. So it's one of those things. Like I love playing against India in India because you know everyone's against you, but it's the hardest conditions to play in for us. It's like when you guys come here, it's hard conditions for you because you're not used to it.
Yeah.
So you know you've almost got this more motivation to succeed.
Yeah.
But
well,
it's very difficult.
I personally love playing against Australia. Whenever you know there's an opportunity to play against Australia, it's a different feeling. And last year when we were there, what the batters did there for us was a great boost, you know. And actually, we were quite looking forward to this year's tour as well. I hope somehow, you know, both the boards, Australian board and Indian board, they somehow try and manage to do something and get this series underway because it'll be great for the teams as well, firstly, but also great for people to start cricket with. You know, that'll be a great series for people to watch, and you know that's a great way. Will be a great way to kick off, you know, the cricket in the world if that happens. I don't know. IPL is likely to happen at some stage as well, but I have no idea about what uh, what date or what month it would be. Once everything settles down a little bit, probably will be a better idea for us to judge whether it is likely to happen or not. But I'm really looking forward to that Australian tour. I hope it really happens in Jan or Feb or whatever, whenever it is. I really hope that happens because we love coming to Australia. We love playing against you guys. It's a great contest with you guys. You know, we know once we go to Australia, once we land in Australia, nothing comes easy. Not just the runs or the wickets, but also when you're out there. So we love coming there, and you know, it's one of my favorite places in the world, Australia. I love going to Australia.
The crazy thing is, when you guys come here, it's like we are playing an away game. Your supporters are crazy. Like they come out,
I know.
we absolutely love it. Like you get the Swami Army, you get the drums coming out. It's one of the series I always look forward to, and that's one thing I like playing against England as well because of the Barmy Army. You've got so much external stuff, and people. It's not it's not rude of me saying this, but when we're out playing a test match in the field, sometimes you're standing out there going, all right, when's the day going to finish?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, especially if you're having a tough day. But everything just gets you through the day, and when everyone's up and about and whatnot, it's fantastic and it's awesome. And actually, watching that series was quite challenging because you can't do anything. You can't help anyone. Your bowlers were on point. Like they, you know, obviously we had some left-handers in the team. Where your guys, I think, are hands down probably the best attack against left-handed batsmen in the world. Like they zero in on one spot, and very rarely do those three guys miss their spot.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a big credit to the way that you guys prepared as well. But mentally as well, like it was a great thing for obviously Indian cricket, as you said, but rivalry. Obviously, hope it does happen because you know we get another opportunity to go against each other, and I'm looking forward to that battle again when we come back over to India. You know, basically you're not how do you say it? You're not meant to win those series when you go away to an opposition country. You're the underdog. You know, you're prepared to put up a great battle, but you know, when you do win those, it means so much more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something that I wanted to ask you. I'm sure it must be really, really hard for you to be away from the game during that phase. Uh, but you made a great comeback after that. Since IPL, that was the first tournament you played after that. And if I remember, you had solid impact when you left for the World Cup preparation, and then the World Cup, and then obviously Ashes didn't go, but you know you got a highest score for Australian. No, not the highest, second highest. Hayden, how many?
Hayden highest.
329.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the Wacker. He didn't run much.
Yeah, I remember that. But anyway, I mean, it's been a great comeback for you. Mentally, it must be tough, challenging to get through that phase and then to come out and perform the way you have in IPL, World Cup, and thereafter. What sort of things you were doing? We heard that you were not allowed to even practice, go to training. So it was that tough, man. It's just how to manage that period for you.
It was challenging. The first sort of, I'll say 3 months, I didn't pick up a cricket bat. I just said, you know, right, well, I'll just enjoy the time I have with the family. Do what I can to sort of keep motivated, having it taken away from you, out of your control, and as you said, not being able to practice. It was a time for me to sit back and just enjoy family time. You know, I really enjoyed that, and you know, as I am at the moment, we don't get breaks. We don't get to put our hand up and say, I want a month off, because it's not possible. You know, we try to play all three forms as much as we can. I saw that there was a tournament in Canada that was happening, so I thought it was a good opportunity to go there and play some decent cricket amongst some great players. You know, a lot of the West Indian players were there. Steve came and played, so I think just spending the time at home and working on like my fitness. I stayed on top of my fitness. I didn't pick up a cricket bat, and I think the longevity now has helped me. I think, you know, having the time off has furthered my career probably 2 years, maybe.
Wow,
as you said before, like 3 daughters, you've got a daughter. People don't understand. We do have one of the best jobs in the world. You know, we love playing cricket, but the challenges we face are, you know, leaving the family at home. You know, the wife to look after the kids all the time. It's not fair, and for us, it's about, you know,